Hello, friends. How are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Welcome to another book review podcast by Team Think Reviews. I am going to talk about a book named Avyakta Kamal. The tagline comes like this: Avyakta Kamal, कलिकाल के दौरों में जन्मी एक महागाथा. The involute dunes, an epic saga born in the age of Kali, by young and aspiring author Satyendra Dhariwal. Though it is not his first book, but it is the first by him we got a chance to read. Fortunately, from our team, I got a chance to read it and I really loved it. Though it is a work of fiction, but the author has incorporated some historical places and incidents quite interestingly into it that makes it consider a historical fiction. The book is bilingual and is available in Hindi and English both. The author has provided us both the versions for the review, and this review is for the Hindi version of the book. Reading this book reminded me of another book we have reviewed in past, though it is a polar apart. That book is Arthala Sangrama Sindhu Gatha Part 1 by Vivek Kumar. Now let us take a look at the cover page of the book. As you can see in the podcast cover, the cover page is moderately good. Of course, how much we say that don't judge a book by its cover, a majority of readers are going to look at it that way only. Each of us love good packaging, and that is the human psychology. While otherwise we love the food items to be decorated and presented in a good packaging. Anyway, the cover page of the book has a light shade of cheerful color showing a desert in the background along with the illustration of a castle. Though not very attractive, it tries to emulate the story. Now let us take a bird's eye view of the book plot. The story is set up in historical time when the Islam started rising. India was still known as Bharatvarsh. It was the glorious time of Bharat when it was a golden bird. The canvas of the book is set up at Jaisalmer or Jaisalmer. The place is considered as the western gate of India, that is Bharat, because of its key position on the famous Silk Route. Mihir Dev was ruling Jaisalmer those days. He was a young, genuine, just and brave ruler. It was his time when Jaisalmer's financial might was increased a lot. The traders from around the world used to come and do business with the city. On the outskirts of the main city of Jaisalmer, there was an entire city established, and it was a home of many locals as well as foreign citizens. There were many so wealthy citizens were living in this city outside, which are even wealthier than many of the kings in Bharatvarsh. So there was a time of wealth and prosperity, and of course the peace too, because if the peace is not there, no economy can blossom. Mihir Dev tried to manage peace at borders, and during his time, there was no war between Jaisalmer and Marwar. Otherwise, both the kingdoms has a history of being at loggerheads. Mihir Dev was a lucky king who got a genuine wife who supported him in all his works. And they were blessed with a curious, brave, intelligent and mischievous child named Kehar. Jaitang, the commandant of the armed forces of Jaisalmer, was a brave and ferocious warrior whose bravery and war skills were exemplary. His loyalty to the king and the kingdom was above all the material things. Actually, both the families had great relations which were carried forward in the next generations as well. Prince Kehar, Subahu and Gaj enjoyed a friendship which is rare to exist. Mihir Dev's younger brother Lekharaj was the prime minister of the kingdom and enjoyed almost the same power as the king himself. Jalaluddin, a ruler from the far east Muslim kingdom, was en route to Gurjar Desh, the area which was very wealthy. Actually, the people of the area was considered quite soft. They were exceptionally good at business and a lot of wealth is earned by them. A lot of the wealth was donated into various temples and they were quite insecure. And the big problem with Bharatvarsha of those days was the lack of concept of a nation. All the small kingdoms were always at fight with each other and thus were not united. So they were the soft targets for invaders who wanted to loot the wealth. Jalaluddin was accompanied by his son Subuktagin and a large army of no less than 40,000 soldiers. They were approached by a traitor from Jaisalmer. The traitor came with an invitation to attack Jaisalmer, where he was keen to help them to let the kingdom fall. While Jalaluddin was not convinced, Subuktagin seen a great opportunity for him in this proposal. Was Jalaluddin convinced to attack the invincible fort of Jaisalmer, which is stand tall till these days and is one of the tourist attractions of Rajasthan even now? Who was the traitor and why he wanted his kingdom to fall? What the future holds in for Kehar, Gaj, Subahu and others? Who is Abdul Malik? Who is the mysterious gigantic human who came reciting the shlokas from Srimad Bhagavad Gita? So many questions, right? Well, you need to read the book to get the answers. The book comes with a theme song for the same, and that is quite interesting. कथानक गीत। व्यक्त नहीं अव्यक्त था ये कामल, अपने उजाड़ वक्ष में अनेकों गुढ़ताएं समेटे। व्यक्त होने की चाह में संतप्त था ये कामल, यहीं भिड़े थे सहस्त्रों योद्धा रण में। उनके अदृश्य अवशेषों का स्थल है ये कामल, यहीं से प्रविष्ट होता था पश्चिमी व्यापार भारत में। इसी कारण अत्यंत समृद्ध था ये कामल, यही रचा गया था वह दारुण षड्यंत्र, जिसकी असंभवता पर स्तब्ध था ये कामल। इसी ने सुरक्षा की थी राज्य के भविष्य की, राजा के निष्कासन का आश्रय था ये कामल। यही दूर हुई थी सारी दुविधाएं, मोक्ष प्राप्ति का भी साधन था ये कामल। पतन से समृद्धि, समृद्धि से पुनः पतन, यह सब देख चुका है ये निर्विकार कामल। कुछ काल जयी मानवों की गाथाओं को सुनाने, अव्यक्त से अब व्यक्त हुआ है ये कामल। To read any of the books or any media for that matter, the price is considered as one of the most important factors by many readers. I will, however, suggest you to consider your time, which you spend to read a book, even more important. So, the book price doesn't matter much. At the same time, if the book is too costly, then it will keep many readers away from it, and that is the fact. The book was available for ₹69, Kindle edition, when I was reading it. Actually, when I published the review at thinkreviews.com, both Hindi and English version were available at the same price. So in those contexts, it is definitely value for money. The book later was renamed and reprinted with definite improvements. The story it holds and the way the story is told, I think whatever price it is when you are listening or trying to buy it, it is definitely worth it. It seems that the author has a lot of influence of his native and folklores and think high about his motherland, which is visible in his writings. At the same time, the way he views mythology, history, and even some of the problems which we face even in the modern days in the story is simply superb. He talks about the glory of historical times and the problem of internal conflicts and traitors in quite an interesting way. The desert plays an important part here and is no less than a prime character in the book. The author seems to be a well-read fellow and has explored Indian mythology and ancient Indian literature quite well. And when we talk about Indian literature, Mahabharata is something you cannot miss. The way the author understood the philosophy of Bharatiya, that is Indian way of living, is something you will be impressed with. If you love reading the philosophies of life and beyond, coated with logical and scientific layer, then you will find the chapter 26 of the book quite interesting. It seems the author has enjoyed writing it thoroughly. The book is written in quite poetic language. In fact, it starts with the lines, उस सर्द अंधेरी रात में थार रेगिस्तान की गोद में वो चला जा रहा था, तीक्ष्ण वातावरण के अस्तित्व को नकारता सा, उसके कंधे झुके हुए थे, चेहरा युगों की वेदना दर्शा रहा था, कदम उसके लड़खड़ा रहे थे, बोझ ही इतना था उन पर, सही चलते भी तो कैसे, बोझ सिर्फ तन का ही नहीं मन का भी. The book has some philosophical lines written in a matter-of-factly tone, like सीमा से अधिक लालसा इंसान को अंधा कर देती है, किसे डरने चला था वो मुखी. Though most part of the book is focused on war and politics, the book comes with a message of peace. And there are some interesting lines in the book that explores the emotions of common men in a natural tone. यदि ये युद्ध नहीं होता और काफिर म्लेच्छ मित्र होते तो परकोटे पर खून नहीं बहता, और होता ये कि अस्ताचल होते सूर्य का नज़ारा उनका मन बांध लेता, और दोनों साथ खड़े होकर देखते तो महसूस करते स्वर्ण नगरी के नाम की सार्थकता. The author is good at exploring the emotions in interesting tone. काश एक बार फिर बिजली चमकती और राजा उस धूर्त का चेहरा देख पाता. The author got an interesting way to explore scenes and surroundings. वरुण देवता चाहे कितना भी जोर लगा लेते, उस रेगिस्तान की प्यास कहाँ बुझने वाली थी, वो तो अनंत थी. मनुष्य तो शांत हो गए, लेकिन कुदरत किसी मनुष्य का हुक्म थोड़ी ही मानती है. बरसात वैसे ही सरसरा रही थी पूरे वेग से. रात पल पल जवान हो रही थी और केहर प्रतीक्षण जर्जर. बुरी तरह थका हुआ था वो. रात के साथ ठंड भी जोर पकड़ती जा रही थी. उसका मन और शरीर दोनों सुन्न थे. कारण सर्दी थी या उसकी भावनाएं, ये समझना थोड़ा मुश्किल था. Here are various lines that are somehow related to wars and battles. दोनों ओर के महारथी उदास मन से अपने अपने शिविरों में लौट रहे थे, जैसे युद्ध करना उनकी मजबूरी था. देखकर लग रहा था कि उनके बस की बात होती तो इस लड़ाई को तुरंत रोक देते. शौर्य प्रदर्शन की नहीं, आवश्यकता की वस्तु है राजकुमारी. व्यक्ति की महानता इसी में निहित है. तुम्हारी हंसी उठे तो मात्र रक्षा हेतु, ना कि आक्रमण हेतु. ये एक भाषा है पुत्र जो तुम्हें सीखनी ही पड़ेगी, क्योंकि कुछ लोगों को मात्र यही समझ में आती है. लेकिन जलालुद्दीन अपने बेटे की तरह धर्मांध नहीं था. उसके ऊपर एक विशाल साम्राज्य की जिम्मेदारी थी. Here are some more interesting lines from the book. भावनाएं ही तो अविश्वसनीय करवाती है इंसान से. इंसान अपनी मंजिल खुद चुनता है. वे कुदरत से छेड़छाड़ नहीं करता, पर नहीं किसी की किस्मत बदलने की कोशिश करता हूँ. समय पर दिखे वही विद्या है, और समय तो अभिमान ही दिखता है. इसका अर्थ हुआ कि मनुष्य जैसा विचरता है, जैसा मानता है, जैसा दृष्टिकोण रखता है, उसका सत्य वैसा ही होता है. मुझे दौलत से ज्यादा अपनी इज्जत की चिंता थी, जो मेरे हमवतनों की नज़र में गिर चुकी थी. उन्होंने मुझसे कहा था कि एक बेगाने मुल्क में मुझे कौन इंसाफ देगा, लेकिन अब मैं उनके सामने फक्र से कह सकूंगा कि इंसाफ किसी मुल्क, किसी मजहब की जागीर नहीं होता. किसी खुदा किसी भगवान का गुलाम नहीं होता। यदि उसकी ये बात कोई ईश्वर सुन रहा होता तो खूब जोर जोर से हंसता और उस हंसी में जरूर कोई न कोई भेद छुपा होता। कुछ वस्तुओं का वर्षों तक कोई हल दिखाई नहीं पड़ता। मनुष्य आशा त्याग देता है, नींव नीरस लगने लगता है। समस्याओं का जितना समाधान ढूंढने का प्रयास करो वो उतनी ही जटिल होती जाती है। तत्पश्चात सहसा एक ही बार में सब सुधर जाता है। स्वतः ही ये जीवन हमारी सोच से सदैव ही कठिन व सारा होता है। सत्य है, ईश्वर की लीला को कौन समझ सकता है। कभी कभी इंसान का एक अवगुण भी यदि वो सीमा पार कर जाए उसके संपूर्ण शानदार चरित्र में दाग लगा सकता है। क्योंकि मात्र शाब्दिक अर्थ इंसान को गलत संदेश दे सकते हैं। हर एक को शब्दों का गुलाम बनने से बचना चाहिए। हर बात को अपने हिसाब से तौलना चाहिए। श्रेष्ठता तो समयानुसार परिवर्तित होती रहती है भ्राता। अच्छी वस्तु सदैव अच्छी नहीं रह सकती एवं बुरी सदैव बुरी नहीं रह सकती। श्रेष्ठता तो मनुष्य की योग्यता पर निर्भर करती है, किसी वस्तु अथवा अस्त्र शस्त्र पर नहीं। द बुक हैज इट्स शेयर ऑफ प्रिंटिंग, ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक्स। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, उसने वहां पहुंचकर ऐसा हाहाकार मचाया कि थोड़ी देर में वो दरवाजा मुंह बाएं खड़ा था, अर्थात उसे खोल दिया गया था। By now you must have got an idea about the kind and quality of writing you can expect from the book, right? Telling more about the content than this will bring some spoilers, which I consciously would like to avoid. The other positive attribute of the book is its characters. They all are strong. The author has given proper footage to all positive and negative characters regardless of their gender. If the book was marketed properly and brought to potential readers, it has all the qualities of impressing readers and being a bestseller. In fact, the author has delivered something significant which is even some of the best-selling authors are unable to deliver. And yes, some people shall be interested in exploring the fort of Jaisalmer by reading this book. If a single reader is motivated in such a way, the book shall be considered successful in achieving its goal. The book is added with some maps and war plan illustrations also, adding to the positives of the book. In summary, this book, Avyakta Kamal, is a nice historical fiction that views history, fiction, mythology, and ancient Indian literature in an interesting way. Strong characters and fast pace makes it gripping. The book is quite long in the length, but the crisp writing doesn't let the reader feel it. From Team Thinker Reviews, I would like to give it around 8 to 8.5 stars out of 10. So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.